Does which officer I get make a difference in my immigration case? Hi, I'm Jim Hacking, immigration lawyer practicing law throughout the United States out of our offices in St. Louis, San Diego, and Washington, D.C. By this point in my career, I have probably appeared in many, many immigration offices and have dealt with many officers from around the country. And I have to tell you that sadly, it does matter which officer you get. So you have to understand that this agency employs thousands of USCIS officers, and they all bring all of their baggage as human beings to their jobs. Some are very diligent, some are very lazy, some are very smart, some not so smart, some are very kind, some very mean. And the one thing I learned in law school was a phrase called arbitrary and capricious. The law is not supposed to be arbitrary, nor is it supposed to be capricious. So arbitrary means that different decisions can be reached with the same set of facts. The agency should treat everybody equally and the same. And when they treat someone arbitrarily, that means there's no real rhyme or reason or good decision making as to why a certain case is approved or denied. Capricious means sort of that they're mean or sneaky. An agency is not supposed to be mean or sneaky. So it really does depend on your officers. There's an officer here in St. Louis who's the nicest lady I've ever met, the nicest immigration officer I've ever met. She goes out of her way to make the people feel comfortable. She goes out of her way to be kind. She has even used words in their home languages. She's just really, really sweet, and she does a really good job of trying to put people at ease. I think that's the right approach. I think you're going to get more from people if they're feeling comfortable, even if you're trying to deny their case. I think being kind is the way to go. But then at the other end of the spectrum, I had an officer in Denver who was just as mean as can be and just could not be more ornery and rude and dismissive, both to me as the attorney and to my client as the immigrant. So you really do have a spectrum: kind, mean, smart, dumb, hardworking, lazy, and it's all somewhere in between. So this can really impact your case. It can impact it in several ways. Some officers just aren't good at finishing a case. Some officers don't know which questions are the most important on the 485 or the N400, and so they spend a lot of time asking you things that aren't based in reality. I once had an officer ask someone who was 27 years old in 2005 whether they'd ever served as a Nazi prison guard in Germany in 1945, which obviously would be like 40 years before they were born. So it didn't make much sense, or 60 years before they were born. Didn't make much sense. So the officers are in charge. It's their courtroom. It's their office. They have a whole lot of say in whether or not you're going to get your immigration benefits. So you want to be deferential. You want to be kind. You want to be professional. You want to be organized. You want to make their lives easier. You want to give them no reason to deny your case. So you do have a lot of agency. You do have a lot of control. But at the end of the day, you don't get to pick which officer has your case. That case has been assigned beforehand. It's not like the officers just grab the next case for an interview and handle it. Hopefully they've gone through your case, and hopefully they've had proper training. We've seen officers that are way too green to be conducting interviews, and we've seen officers who've been doing it way too long and really probably just need to shuffle on up to Buffalo and do something else with their lives because they're just mean and ornery. So it's a tough job. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying that people don't lie to them. I'm not saying that they don't have reasons to be skeptical. I want to give all the credit in the world to those officers who do treat people kindly, who do try to be diligent about their job. I was up for an interview in Manhattan about a month and a half ago, had a very, very experienced officer. We had a very nice time. He actually told a lot of jokes, and he had some good questions for my client, but not a ton. He knew it was an approvable case, very straightforward, and he didn't waste a lot of people's time. So it's really interesting to watch how different officers handle similar situations. And it's really interesting to see how officers handle cases that might be considered tough. So at the end of the day, you need to understand that officers are human. Officers are thinking about lunch. They're thinking about a promotion. They're thinking about what they're going to do this weekend. And at the same time, they're adjudicating your case. And you know damn well from looking around their office that they have a lot of other cases that are upon them. I believe in some offices, they're sort of on them to decide cases quickly. Some field office directors are very diligent as well, but that too runs the gamut. So at the end of the day, just be ready for anything. Be ready to go with the flow. If they're mean, don't take the bait. If they're kind, be grateful, be glad. If they're professional, then that means your case is going to go along pretty darn smoothly. If you have questions about this, or if you're thinking about hiring our law firm to help you get your green card or get your citizenship or get your asylum or to get your spouse or fiance here, give us a call, 314-961-8200, or email us, info@hackingimmigrationlaw.com. If you have the desire to just get some free resources, that's okay too. We've got plenty of them for you. We have our Immigrant Home Facebook group. There's over 12,000 immigrants in there talking about the immigration process every day. We have our YouTube channel where I make new YouTube videos 3 or 4 times a week, posting them on our YouTube channel. You can subscribe to that and you'll get alerted when a new video drops or when I'm going live, which is another free resource we have. We do 2 or 3 live shows a week where it's me answering immigration related questions for people for free for an hour. And we do it on YouTube and Facebook so that everybody can share in the love, share in the knowledge, share in the joy. And finally, we love making TikTok videos and we post there regularly. So if you're not following us on TikTok, please consider doing so @Immigration Hacking. Thanks so much, and we'll see you next time.